Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Good Mzansi with me, your host, Jared Petzer. Today we are joined by Paul Smulders. Now, Paul Smulders is a real estate agent, works with Remax. He also went on to Survivor, South Africa, and he's got another really cool initiative which we're going to dig into a little bit deeper today. Paul, how are you doing, my friend?
All right, thanks. And you, Jared? You well?
Can't complain. How's lockdown treating you? I see at least you've got a bit of an outdoor section there to keep yourself busy.
Yeah, it's actually, we're very fortunate compared to a lot of other people. So, yeah, very fortunate here. But I found lockdown, time actually flies. I don't know about you, well, especially you. You're so busy and everything with whatnot. But, keeping busy. I think that's the name of the game, is just to keep busy and learning a lot about technology as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I see you've been doing a couple of funny videos. That one of you in your car, that was pretty funny. Going nowhere fast, eh?
I think we're going to have a bit of balance in life, eh? Yeah. Our serious side and a little bit of sort of humor and whatnot as well. So, I just thought during lockdown period, do some funny stuff as well. Put it on a certain program that they've got and whatnot, and having some laughs there. It's also good. So we've got the serious, the funny, and then the sort of side where we've got with laughter and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good balance. It's a really good balance. Paul, tell us. So obviously, you're in the real estate game. How's it been for you? I've had a meeting with. I've had a show with Adrian. He said it's a bit tough at the moment. I mean, you're also obviously experiencing that. You're keeping yourself busy with meetings and strategizing and that sort of thing.
Yeah, we've had some good Zoom meetings. Our principal has called us in a few times in a Zoom meeting, which is quite exciting, something different. Yeah. I've also been doing a little bit of personal notes to all my clients and whatnot, keeping in touch. The funny thing is I've never, ever done an offer on computer. You always just sort of play it out, sign it, scan, send to the clients and whatnot. Yeah. And I've had the experience this week of doing an offer. Person hasn't even seen the property yet. They've seen it online. I've also got a lot of videos and that I do, so people can sort of see what's going on. And what we managed to do is I've learned now how to actually do an initial on the computer and a signature and whatnot. So yeah, it teaches us things as well that, especially us older people, I'm talking for myself now, have get used to a bit of technology now. We're always used to just sort of asking someone, do this, do that, or whatever. And it throws you in the deep end. And at least we're getting to learn about technology and whatnot.
Absolutely. Paul, tell us about your stint on Survivor. More importantly, let's just tell our viewers a little bit about the video that got you onto Survivor.
No, let's not go there. That's a bit cheeky, so to say. It was actually amazing. We were watching, I think it was the sixth series, which was 2 years ago. And at the end of it, I think old Nico came up and said, "Are you the next survivor?" and whatnot. And Jen and I looked at each other and I said to her, let's go and do a video for fun. Let's just take it, go and do an outing and go and do the video. And we've also been watching a little bit of the Naked and Afraid series, which is sort of based on that, but I think far more, a lot more tough than what Survivor is.
Wow.
And so what I did is I actually asked one of my big bodybuilder guys to come onto the video as well. And I sort of used him in the beginning stages and said, look, you walk in, let's pretend you entering Survivor. But as we get to the watering or to the well, I'll sort of turn around. Obviously, I had a towel around me, and I'll turn around and, you know what I think you must do? I think they must go and see it for themselves.
Where's your sense of adventure, man?
And I mean, basically, he turns around and he says, "Hey, Paul, this is Survivor. It's not Naked and Afraid." So yeah, we put the video in, and I didn't think it really was going to get anywhere. And it was actually quite funny because I'd got my my email to say, "Sorry, you haven't made it," and I left it for a while. And what happened was about a week or two later, I was busy with a client, and this number came in, and I thought, but hang on, that sort of looks like a number from Cape Town. Can I just be excused? And it was one of the Survivor people from Afrikaans, and they said, "Paul, congratulations, you've made it. You through to the next round." I said, "Yeah, sure, you and Wackhead, both of you." And I put the phone down. Because obviously now, having got the email, I thought now the guys are sort of pulling, they're saying like, "You've made it," and it's a joke and everything with Wackhead. Phone rings again, And she says, yeah, Paul, congratulations. This is genuine. This is, and I don't want to mention who the person was, but this is so-and-so. And you've made it to the next round. And from there, it was exciting. It was incredible. The whole build-up, I think, starts with that one telephone call, just to say you're sort of to the next round. And from there, when we left, it was experience of a lifetime. It was really, really amazing. I mean, I don't know if I brought back with me. You can see there's my water bottle. I've got here's all my buffs and everything. I've even got there's the pouches and everything. And the most treasured that I've got is you'll see here is Afrikaans did the filming. I suppose you can or can't, but I mean, I've got a cap signed by LB, from Andre, from Nico, all just with their personal messages. Oh, cool. And the main cap, of course, is the one from Rob, who won Survivor. You can see over here. And he says, you were dad to me. Thank you, Paul. Lots of love, Rob. So that's a very, very special cap here. And then, of course, we've got the two that we're given as well at the end of the show. But yeah, so going onto the island, I think it teaches you, your mind is very strong. Hey, you basically get dropped off. Nico's obviously, come on in, guys. You go there and you think, is this a dream? Is this actually happening? Is this for real? And you learn. Obviously, I went off to the island. I was the first guy to go off down to the island of secrets. When I got there, very, very nervous of what was going to happen there firstly, and also what was going to happen when I get back to the tribe, because now obviously they're bonding. You, the person that's been chosen the leader, gone to the island of secrets and getting very stressed. And I think people weren't understanding why I took the idol back to the tribe. And to me, it was like almost a thing of trust and saying, listen, guys, here I am. Here's this. You chose me as a leader. I'm bringing it back, and hopefully then getting into, because by then I was thinking alliances obviously would have been formed and whatnot. And it worked. It worked for me. I got into an alliance, not for very long, as you well know. I mean, I was blindsided in the second episode. I think I was trying to be too clever. But yeah, it's very, very real. I still also thought that, you get there and, while the cameras are rolling and everything, you're pretending that you haven't got food and whatnot. But believe me, I learned to live on coconut. That's all we basically got. And the tribe won a challenge, so they got some fruit. I think it was pawpaw. So we had one slither of pawpaw in the morning, and then quite a bit of coconut. You go and have a look for coconuts and everything. The worst was the cold. I tell you, it was bitterly cold at night, and it was raining. The period that I was there, it was raining almost every night. So it was very, very cold. And we had a funny incident the one night. I sort of snuck in next to Rob, and then the rest of the tribe was on the other side. And I was like shivering and whatnot. And then Rob sort of said to me, he sort of grabbed me and he pulled me in towards him. And we lay there for a bit. And then I thought, it's like I'm almost falling out of the tribe now, because Rob's a big oak and I was on the end. So, the water dripping there and everything. I thought, no, let me turn around. Turned around, got back again. And he sort of snuck me again. And then about 10, 15 minutes later, he sort of said to me, Paul, I just need to go for a walk, meaning that, modern toilets out there in the dark, you sort of feel your way. Anyway, so he said, I need to go for a walk. And I said, okay. And he said, hang on, why are you talking to me from there? And I said, no, I turned around because it was like I couldn't sort of fit in and whatnot. He says, no ways. I thought I was hugging your pecs the whole night. Meantime, he had my ass. He was hugging them. So, a lot of humorous things that sort of come out there and everything. But yeah, it was really tough. The challenges are real. They're tough. Obviously, I wished I'd lasted a bit longer. It would have been awesome if I could have sort of proven to myself I could get closer to the end. But you never know. There might be a second a season that's called Second Chance, which is for guys that have been voted off sort of the first and second series. But for the guys that are listening out there and Survivor fans, you've got to enter. If there's another opportunity that comes up, I think they are doing a Series 8 Series 8, which has had to be held back a bit because of the lockdown and everything. But future years and whatnot, I would really, it's a good test of your mind and whatnot. You go in a totally different frame of mind. You're there and you're your mind just tells you, you're going to do this, you can survive. It's awesome. It was really, really awesome.
Sounds fantastic. It really does sound like something interesting. And I'd imagine you could use some of those skills for what you're going through now. You know, if you get stuck without food and through this corona thing, I suppose you could go and forage for something and keep yourself sustained.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Paul, I mean, you popped into our peripherals early on, well, just after we launched #I'm Staying, and that was as a result of an initiative that you kicked off. So you just want to tell us a little bit about this initiative and how the whole thing came about.
Okay, you're talking about Loaf Day, #Loaf Day. Basically, this was also after coming back from Survivor. You know, you're driving in your car and you get the guys at the robots that need a little bit more of either food or, you know, they're wanting coinage, some coins or whatever to go and buy whatever. And I said to Jen, you know, instead of us trying to give every single guy that you almost pass, and it's almost impossible to do that, and you're wondering where they spend, you know, sometimes you are judgmental, you think where they're spending the money, is it really going to food or whatever. And I said to myself, what I want to do is every Wednesday, why don't the two of us rather just go and buy a certain amount of loaves, cut them in half, and see how far we can spread the loaves. And we started off, I think Jen and I started off with getting 20 fresh loaves, cut in half, so that would be 40. And every Wednesday what we'd do is we'd go out into the car on our rounds and whatnot and just find those people that are sort of at the robots or sitting waiting for jobs and whatnot, and giving them some food that at least helps. And knowing eventually they, after 2 or 3 weeks, we actually parked off at certain areas and they already recognized the car and they started coming and thank you so much. I was so thankful. You know, you sort of drive away and you look in your rearview mirror, and because the bread was hot, you see them sitting down immediately and starting to eat, and you realize that, you know, they need this. With time and after you putting it on to I'm Staying, suddenly there was a lot of people saying, how can we help, how can we do whatever. And we realized that if we could get everyone throughout South Africa that's part of the group, or even not part of the group, if they just hear about it and join, to give out a minimum of 4 half loaves, it would go so far within South Africa if everyone's sort of contributing. After you posted, I think a few times on I'm Staying, you posted a few times, it grew, and suddenly we had about 3,000 members. So if you take 3,000 members times 4 half loaves, that gives you 12,000 half loaves minimum. And when I say minimum, we've got some guys that are donating 100 loaves a week plus. And then we've also got people, what they did is they'll go and buy maybe 1 loaf of bread, but they'll make the tastiest of sandwiches. So they'll make peanut butter sandwiches and whatnot. They add polony, they add cool drinks. So what was nice is if you go into the #Loaf Day page, you'll see, if you go further down and everything, you'll see photos of what they've actually given. And the one thing we try and do is we try not to put photos of the recipients. So it doesn't matter if it's you with the bread or whatever. If you want to show yourself, you've got this or whatever, that's fine. But we try not with the recipients. I have in the last week or two, because Cradle of Hope has been, so in other words, we can't do anything now because of lockdown. We can't get in our cars. The guys aren't on the streets anymore. They're going to, let's say, churches or places where we can't get to. So what we decided is there's 2 NGOs that we sort of support. The one is the Red Cross that we're donating to, or the members are donating to. And the other one was Cradle of Hope. They said to us they need 100 loaves a day just to help feed the people that are actually going there. Now that's one place. Jared, you watch TV, you see all these guys that need food. I see there's another guy that started off and he's doing brilliantly, and he's called, I think, #Free Bread or something like that. Also doing something very, very similar, but people are just jumping in and giving bread. And I'm actually losing myself where I'm going now with this, but with the Cradle of Hope, what we did is I started a quick drive and I said, listen, from lockdown, we started on the 7th. Let's try and give them the 100 loaves a day for the lockdown period. We've managed to go from the 7th right down to the 23rd of April. I think that was about 8,000 Rand that people already contributed from Loaf Day, family, friends, and whatnot. We now need another 4,000 Rand to get us right through to what we hope is now going to be the end of Lock Day, which would be the end of the month. So once we've reached the other 4,000 Rand, we would have made sure as the group of #Loaf Day that we've now given Cradle of Hope 100 loaves of bread every single day up until the end of the month. And I'm sure we'll reach that target, because within a couple of days we got to the 8,000 Rand. You know, it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it's a lot of food going to the right places. So yeah, if there is anyone out there that wants to, just jump onto the #Loaf Day page. You'll see all the information there, either the Red Cross at this stage or the Cradle of Hope that we're donating to. And then once we're out of lockdown, then it's back to the individual again, you know, grabbing your loaves, your sandwiches and whatnot, getting out there and just giving to those in need.
Listen, I mean, if you guys are watching this, we're busy talking to Paul Smulders. He launched #Loaf Day last year. It's a phenomenal initiative. It's aimed at feeding people that aren't able to feed themselves. They've currently just gotten, they're supporting, what is the name of the area again?
The Cradle of Hope, eh?
They're supporting the Cradle of Hope. They need 100 loaves a day. They've only got 4,000 Rand shortfall in terms of helping them achieve their goals. And that's 100 loaves a day going to needy people. So if you can get involved, guys, I mean, a loaf of bread costs next to nothing, even if it's one loaf that you can afford. One loaf is going to feed 2 people minimum, you know. So it's a really great initiative. Paul, I mean, how has this affected your life? I mean, how has this affected you as a person after starting this initiative and after seeing people in their worst states and seeing people coming on board to help and assist you get this thing going? I mean, what's it done for you as a person?
I think, you know what, I think in life, everyone likes that feel-good feeling as well. You like to also be able to give where I definitely can't give that from my pocket, the whole amount. If we had to do 12,000 loaves every single week, which is basically what Loaf Day is doing. So I think by having that group and everyone participating and getting it to it where it is, I mean, hopefully we can get to 10,000 members one of these days. You know, I mean, that will be awesome. But you know, you watch TV now, you see all these people that are starving and everything out there, and you just want to do more and more and more. You can't do more and more, but you can do more in the sense of giving of yourself to be able to get others to participate, to be able to give more. And if each member of these groups, whether it's mine or any feeding scheme or anything, tries to get more people on board, obviously they can't give, you know, every cent that they're earning, but if they're getting more people on board and it becomes this whole sort of system, there'll just be so many more people out there that are busy, that can get fed. Yeah. I mean, I just look at that, as I say, the other guy that's doing now in certain areas with his free bread. I mean, that is mushroomed, and it's amazing to see the kind people out there that are actually donating and giving. And you know exactly what you said, Jared. There's some people that will give 25 Rand, but that 25 Rand is the same as another guy's 10,000 Rand, so to say. But they will give. It'll be a guy that probably has hardly anything himself. And I've had that where a guy will WhatsApp me and say, listen, I also want to give, but is it okay if I just give 5 or 10 Rand? I said, you know what? That buys a loaf of bread. You're giving, you're helping, you're assisting. So it's not about the money. It's about the participation.
Yeah. Listen, I think it's such a wonderful thing that you're doing, Paul, and I hope that this message reaches a lot of people and that you get a huge amount of support behind you. I had a very interesting meeting with the CEO of Backer Buddy, Patrick Schofield. Now, we were talking about the value of crowdfunding, and it's going to tie in a lot to what you're doing because you know, one person can go and give R1 million worth of something, but that doesn't really achieve what it's supposed to achieve, because everything that you're doing really is calling on the community to become engaged. And that is that's how you unify people. That's really how you take people and you unify them and you get people to act as active citizens to try and make a difference. And I think it's so vitally important that even if it is $5 that you can put in, it doesn't really matter. In fact, it's better if you've got 10,000 people putting 5 Rand in than it does one person putting in that big amount of money. So I just think it's a really wonderful thing that you're doing, and we'll support you whichever way we can. You know, maybe we can do some more stuff on our side. And I also encourage you to get in touch with Backer Buddy because they get a lot of exposure into the media, and you might be able to get far more interest in you know, at a global scale because they get picked up by a lot of publications and whatnot. I just think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing, and I'd be happy to connect you there.
Thanks, Simil, and really thanks so much what you've done for the group as well. I mean, you've got us to where we're going with your posts and shares and everything. And well done on what you've done, Jared. Really, really, really proud. I mean, I know you as a buddy as well and everything, and wow, you've just shown, and you're an amazing person. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a team effort, right? We're all doing this. We're all in this together, and I think that's the one thing that we can take away from lockdown is that we're all in this together. We're all in this together. We've got a big battle on our hands coming out of lockdown to make sure we can get the economy going, and we really need to reach out and help each other to get each other across the line on this one. Paul, it's been so cool talking to you. Is there anything else that you'd like? Any message you want to give to the country?
Yeah, just hang in there, guys. You know what? It's as much as there's negative to it, there's a lot of positivity that can be taken out of it. So yeah, I mean, I know we got told now it's another 2 weeks added on, but exercise, stay healthy, stay safe, and join our initiative. Eh? Hashtag Loaf Day.
Fantastic. So just, I mean, so if guys want to get hold of you, they just go to hashtag Loaf Day. That's the best way to get hold of you.
On Facebook, yeah, it's on Facebook and the one good thing as well that the public needs to know is we do not take funds or anything. So what happens is if there's any donations or whatever, it goes straight to the supplier. So like now what we're doing with Cradle of Hope, the Nature's Dream Bread has offered to deliver every single day. They've given us a very, very good price on their breads. So the funds get paid directly into their bank accounts. We just monitor everything. So you know that your donations and everything are going directly there. That we as Loaf Day, and please, if anyone asks you for money and says they're from Loaf Day, we do not take cash. It goes to the supplier directly, whether it's a supermarket or whether it's a bakery or whatever. The funds get directed there, and from there it then gets dropped off at where it needs to go. And then obviously once lockdown's finished, then you'll be doing your own drives again and buying and supplying.
Fantastic. Yeah, guys, listen, I mean, if you represent any of the major outlets, then this is also a great initiative for you to get involved in. You know, I think just a couple of loaves, if you can just spare them off of your shelves to join in and help us to feed more people in South Africa, that would really be amazing. Great, Paul. Listen, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed your chat, and man, God bless you.
Likewise, have a good one. Thanks, Simil. Appreciate it. Cheers, Bye-bye. Bye.